I love that she tells me that now all the time.
I know, it's really nice. Hello, everybody. Before we get started today, I wanted to just give folks the heads up that Ann Dunn, if you're here to listen to Ann Dunn today, Ann Dunn will be joining us next week to talk about Oakland diversity, equity, anti-racist planning that Oakland, the city, is doing and that they're bringing into Oakland Animal Shelter as a part of that. So if you're here for Ann Dunn, so sorry, that will be happening next week, same time, same place. And people are still joining us, so I'll repeat that a couple of times. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Anyone have a cool icebreaker or question for the group? They can put in the chat.
I do love icebreakers.
Do you have one?
I'm looking at my list. I made a list actually.
Last show you binge watched.
I'm
embarrassed to say, actually.
Well, you have to tell us.
I really can't. Last show you binge watched. Vampire Diaries, Shetland, awesome. Just for everyone who's joining us, I'm going to repeat this a couple of different times. If you want to put the last show you've binge watched into the chat, do that. And if you're here today to hear from Ann Dunn, the director of Oakland Animal Services, she will actually be joining us next week, not this week. So if you're here for that, go ahead and hop off and we'll, or you can stay, either way. And we'll see you next week. But today, Ann Dunn will not be with us. And if you want to put what you binge watched last in the chat, I guess I'll share. It's just very embarrassing. I was sick this weekend, so. So I watched The Bachelor, so that's out now. So does Bobby, though, so I'm going to say that too. Okay, so it's now like 3:04. I guess we'll give people another minute or so. We're asking you what you have binge watched in the past. What's the most recent show you've binge watched? I can't imagine like watching more than one episode of The Handmaid's Tale like ever. Sounds hard. Dexter. Wow. I hadn't thought about that show in a long time. Okay. People are still joining us and hopping on. If you're here to join us with Ann Dunn today, she will not be here today. So she'll be here next week, same time, same place, same topic that you were hoping to hear today, but she will not be with us today. So Clone Wars, yes, okay. So we are going to do something a little bit different today. We are going to go to some breakout rooms and talk a little bit about just it's been about a year since we started these meetings, actually probably like over a year. Also want to acknowledge that it's been a year yesterday since the passing of George Floyd, since his death, and think it's important for us to all just acknowledge that it has been a year since that time and think about sort of what's changed for us and what's come into our life because of that loss. And we're going to break out into rooms today and just talk a little bit together, probably for about 20 minutes. Introduce yourselves if you haven't met folks. I think we have a lot of regulars on this call, but maybe many of you have not met one another. So names, what your title is, where you work, and then if you could brainstorm about issues that you're having, HOS related, organizationally, change related trainings that you wish that you could have access to, Kelly, Bobby, Jamie, and I will be joining you in those breakout rooms to sort of facilitate the conversation. We'll do that for about 20 minutes, come back together and see what we've come up with, and if there's any sort of initial brainstorming we can do with some of those bigger problems today, and it will help us to plan the calendar coming up. People are still joining us. So, okay. So does that sound good to everybody? Anyone have any questions or strong dislike for this idea? No?
I'm excited. I miss the time when we were having breakout rooms for a while there. I feel like that was like a million years ago that we've done that, but I love the breakout rooms. They're so fun.
I do too. Okay, so I'm creating 4 rooms and you all pick and try to go to rooms that don't have a lot of people. So you can self-assign. You should have like a button on the bottom of your screen, I believe, to start going to those.
Not yet.
You don't see it? Oh, open rooms. That would help. And then we'll join you all.
Yeah, Rory, do you want us to go to a specific room? Do you want to assign it?
Let's see where people go, and I'll just start assigning people too.
Okay.
It's like a weird psychology of like who won't go to what numbered room. Just like interested in what's happening here. Okay, people are still going to rooms. Looks like we need some more folks to go to room 1, room 2, but self-assign, or I can send you somewhere. And yeah, we'll come back here about 3:30 and have 30 minutes to talk together. Kathy, I'm gonna send you to room 1. Like your haircut. Okay. Eliza, send you to room 1. Let's see. Need some room 3ers. Just assigning people now. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, my friend Rory.
So today we're going to breakout rooms. Anne is joining us next week, but today we're gonna like just kind of talk and get to know one another and talk about like what we might do in the future in this group. Do you want to stay?
No.
Okay. I figured you wouldn't. But, I was happy to see you. Yeah. Let's talk soon.
What are you doing this weekend?
Hanging out with you.
Do you want to go out on the water?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Hi, Amy. Hey, Cheryl. We have folks in breakout rooms just having open discussions. So I'm going to toss you into one of the rooms right now. Hello, how's it going?
Rory, you're still muted. Are
I
we
love
the?
that that's a thing, but it's so loud.
I know.
You know what?
Oh, there's Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Jamie. I thought at first it was just our group again and everybody ditched us.
I don't know. Like I was in a different group and then it bumped me here. So
Yeah.
I was late to this meeting, so I'm a little bit confused. I have to.
So
be
you don't understand the whole genie in a bottle flying around.
Oh,
Hi, Amy.
Carly. Sorry.
I'm really enjoying that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hi, Amy.
Well, I think Carly, hello.
No one ever does
you.
that when they see me. No one ever
Chris.
does
Hi,
that.
Chris.
It's been forever.
Chris, I will totally squeal when I see you every single time. You are
Oh my
my
gosh, it's
favorite.
Kathy Duncan.
My
Kathy,
kids don't even squeal anymore. My kids ignore me when I come home.
I'm like so overwhelmed with the amount of cameras that are on right now. I don't even know what to do with myself.
I know.
Like literally so many faces.
It was fun coming back. That was wild. How was that for everybody? Is it positive to go to these breakout rooms sometimes?
Awesome.
Okay, cool, great. I'm so glad. Okay, before we get going, I just really sometimes I learned this from Kelly Dewar, but I would like to ask you all to just put how long you've worked in animal welfare in the chat. The total amount of years that you've worked in animal welfare in your lifetime.
Look at all that experience.
Amazing. We're gonna add that up and tell you next time how many years, or maybe someone can do that now. Awesome. Yeah, I just calculated mine the other day. It was kind of shocking. Okay, so Bobby, you had some thoughts about what to do right now, right? Coming back together and having people kind of share about things. Do you want to do that?
First of all, those rooms were so lit that we were in our room, we were wrapping up. Rory first was like, hey, let's start wrapping up. So we wrapped up. And I was like, let me go check. And we're like, Rory's not replying to us. And we're like, let's go check in the room. And I walk in the room and then Rory's like in his screen talking about safety net programs. And I'm like, that's why he's not replying. It's because he's leading the damn conversation right now. So I'm glad everybody was having fun. But one of the things that we wanted to do, so I actually learned this from the amazing team at Correct Shelter Medicine that recently did a presentation for a cohort in California about Klaxoon boards, where it's essentially an interactive board where we can post our own sticky notes onto it. So I'm going to stick this into the chat. And I know that there was a lot of great conversation being facilitated in the small groups, but we'd love to kind of bring that all together just to see, you know, what everybody was talking about and how we can utilize it for future summit ideas. So if you click that link, it should hopefully ask you to sign up as a guest. I will share my screen here. And I encourage all of you to sign up. It's probably just going to ask you to pick a nickname. It's going to be very simple. Once you pull this up, we just want to hear about your wins and challenges. If you click this here, this little button there, it's going to let you have a sticky. You can pick any color that you want. Wins, I'm going to say hanging out with all the summit cool kids. This is my biggest win of the week so far. Click that, and I'm going to drop it over here in the wins box. And we'd love and encourage all of you to do this right now. And let's just see what sort of topics start coming up.
Wait, is there a link or something in the chat?
I thought I just dropped it in the chat. Is it not in there?
I'm in. What's the button to get to the sticky notes though?
It should be this plus sign with the circle.
So fun.
Are people having success?
No. What's the question?
Just any wins or challenges that you're dealing with in your organization. Oh, look at that. 11 Haas peeps.
Cute, cute. Ooh, I love watching these come in.
Hot off the press, Rory Adams.
Pop up like that. Really like that. Okay, how do I do this?
So you just press the little plus sign with the circle, and that's going to give you a sticky note of your choosing. And once you do it,
Bobby, didn't Dr. Hurley do this on one of the Hoss calls too?
Yeah, and that's why I gave that
That's
shout out.
amazing.
Oops, I moved the whole thing. Whoops.
All right, so being understaffed, always a challenge. Collaboration, love that.
I love hearing Rory try to work through new technology.
Oh my God. Thought I was muted, so that was cool.
Open positions are a challenge. Roy, did you delete my box of wins?
I didn't do that actually. I'm shocked that it wasn't me, but it wasn't me.
It's okay. We know where things go. This is all a learning experience for all of us. Staffing challenges. What's up, Roy?
This is really cool.
I thought it was a lot of fun. And for those folks that typically aren't on camera or are often using the chat, this is a great way for us all to collaborate. Let's see. Time. Someone wrote time in challenges. The person that wrote time, do you want to sort of speak up in what you mean by just time?
Jamie Case wrote time. There's not enough of it.
Valid. And I also just saw COVID reopenings. Does anybody want to chime up on sort of what their biggest challenges regarding those COVID reopenings?
We talked a little bit about that in our breakout room, just about like all of the anxiety that's coming with that.
And I saw Return to Home originally in challenges and then being pulled over to win. So the person that put RTH, what do you feel is your biggest win going on in Return to Home right now?
I didn't even see the return to field for friendlies until afterwards. So I feel like there's the focus on return to home in general and the renaming it, relabeling it, and having it be broader to encompass community cats is a win. But I agree that the challenge with getting the community and our TNR partners to accept the approach for friendlies is a challenge.
Thank you,
I put
Chris.
the friendly tab in there. So yes, I'm on board with everything Chris said. That and we talked today as our management team about the challenges of staff who aren't necessarily saying they don't agree and trying to manipulate the system.
Ooh, that sounds like a show I would binge watch, Erica. Okay, I think this one a lot of us are excited about because I know Rory really ingrains this into us. It's the concept of what are the objectives of what we're trying to teach, and I see how I take what I learn and make changes in my organization. Does anybody want to speak up that wrote that and just tell us where your biggest struggle is there? And do note, I can see who wrote these. So if you think you're going to get away with it, you won't. Just giving you a chance to speak up. No? Oh, I did something wrong.
I did that just a minute ago. It was very stressful.
It's very fast.
Yeah. This is super helpful for us. I hope this is helpful for you all too. I really did enjoy sort of being in a smaller group. I love the big group too, but I think sometimes just breaking out into small groups, we need to remember that that's like as much of a tool as any of this technology is, just sometimes being in a little bit of a smaller room. Bobby, what do you think we should do next with that? Just keep like adding to it, and Kelly and I can go back to it and look and try to match it to some of the speaker requests that have come in, and try to get some of these conversations going. But we might continue to do some more breakout rooms with some experts too in the coming weeks. So having a little bit smaller conversations with topics where we can like break out with people that are sort of leading us through some of this work. But I mean, all of you in this room are also leaders. So very much appreciate you all being here with us. And next week we will be joined with Ann Dunn. And maybe what we can do, Bobby, is do another of the same sort of at the end, like last 5 minutes or so of like the wins and challenges for the work that Ann's going to be sharing about. So again, that conversation is really centered around anti-racism, that Oakland in California as a city has been leading change through their government service departments, including animal services. And she's just going to talk to us about what her experience has been doing that in a town that she's worked in and lived in for a very long time, but she just took the position of Oakland Animal Services Director, I think a month before COVID really started. So she's had a wild year, but she's one of my absolute heroes in animal welfare, one of my favorite people. And she's gonna really be able to share a lot, and I hope create space for questions that you all might have about just sort of trying to lead anti-racist work as a white leader too. So she'll be here sort of talking about that and may bring some of her support staff as well. So we might like do some breakout rooms based on sort of like identity during that space as well to give space to folks, but we'll work through that and we'll see you all next week. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, all. See you next week.
Bye.
Happy.